Yeah, okay, good. So we need to roll fast. But what we got to do, we got to get everybody charged up. So guess what? You come to see me speak, so you got to stand up. Come on, guys. Everybody know what a slow clap is. So we're going to really get it fired up because we're going to show you a different way. So let's start a slow clap. And we're doing this for David Kelly because I'm glad he can join me. And I'll tell you why in a second. So you guys ready? All right, guys, thanks. So I called David Kelly last night and I said, hey, David, what's going on? He's like, oh, I haven't talked to you in a while. He's like, oh, yeah, all the small talk. He knew I was leading up something. And I was like, Ryan Norris isn't going to make it in. He's got snow in Greenville, South Carolina. I can come all the way from New York, no problems, but Ryan can't get from Greenville. And I said, hey, guess what? Are you willing to do it? And he's like, yeah, I'm willing to do it, no problem. And he said, so can you email me the deck? And I was like, no, I can't. There's a problem there. It's 55 megs. So anyway, so David hasn't seen this deck really too much. So we're going to go through that.
We're going to wing it with confidence. So.
Yeah, no kidding. That's what he said. He said, I'll just say it with confidence. It'll be great. So that's what he's going to do. So Ryan Norris is with Toyota of Easley. He's the dealer principal there. And why don't you tell the story about what happened?
Yeah, so essentially, Ryan, I work with the ad agency for Southeast Toyota, the distributor, and one of our roles is to consult with the stores on a daily basis on their advertising, their marketing, where they're spending their money, what they're saying. Ryan comes to me and says, we got to change. We're so focused on price. That's all we talk about is price. My current agency, we won't mention any names, but all they want to do is focus on price. They're asking me what the specials, what the deals are, what should we focus on. There's a better way of doing this. Ryan, his dad, great reputation in town. They want to carry that reputation through to the business in their communications. So he says, we need to do an agency review. We need to talk to some agencies that can help take us to a different level. Stop talking about price and talk more about why buy a car from us, what we stand for versus what we're going to give you the car for. So, invited a few agencies, Paul being one of them, and, even you look at his attire, you kind of think, okay, Greenville, South Carolina, how well is this going to go?
Wait. I got a pretty mouth.
Yeah.
All right, nobody got that.
I was not going to compliment that.
Okay.
Can't see it with the beard.
Okay.
So, we bring him in, have the conversation. Ryan falls in love with the conversation. He loves the idea. He was really interested in going into that digital space. And so here, 2.5 years later, they've stuck to the plan. And it's not easy to do, and we're going to talk about some of those hurdles here today. But sticking to the plan, not reacting, thinking business is slowing down, we need to jump back into price, and talking about how you can really sustain your business without just that price conversation. So we're at a digital conference. You're probably thinking, where does this fit? Well, it's all online. I mean, most of the conversation's happening online. You hear reputation, you hear branding. We're going to talk to you about a lot of areas that, where we're putting this information online. So, Paul?
Thank you, guys. Thank you. So, who advertises price? All right, well, let me do this a little better then. Who doesn't advertise price? That's who I want to see. 3 people. So the vast majority of us advertise price. And if you think about price, and what happens with price? So let's step out of the dealer's eyes. Let's step into a consumer's eyes. Whenever you have to start negotiating price, what happens? Does your blood pressure go up a little bit? You get a little hot under the collar. You're not really the nice person. It's like your inner voice. You get a little nasty, a little negative, a little aggressive because you feel like somebody's getting ready to separate you from your money. So if you kind of think about that's what's going on, and let's step all the way back. If that's what's happening, can we change that? Because oftentimes we think price is a call to action. But think about when's the last time anybody in here have a Louis Vuitton bag? Yeah? A number of you. Was price a consideration when you went to buy it? At the very beginning? It wasn't, was it? You decided you wanted it, and then you went down the funnel. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to go through that. So it's how to create a reputation that will put you on top of the car shopper's list. If this thing would work, that'd be great. I should have used my own clicker. So the situation, and David's going to add into this, but Toyota of Easley's in the market with a lot of other Toyota dealers, and the Toyota dealers that he's facing are all about price. I mean, talk about some of the pricing.
Yes, it's a very competitive market. It's one of the markets that has the highest market share for Toyota in the Southeast region and across the country, if I'm correct. But the majority of the stores in the market are very aggressive, focusing on price. They're all good advertisers. They really put themselves out there, but they're quick to talk about price. So you're going to sit here through this conversation and say, how can I not talk about price if the guy down the street is talking about price? How can I do that and give up those opportunities? And so we'll talk a lot about that today.
Yeah, and Ryan's, we're talking to Ryan, he said, I want to show, and I'm sure you guys do too, he says, I want to go to work every day and I want to make money. I don't want to give my cars away. And there's a lot of dealers in the market that are selling $3,000 under invoice. I mean, selling triple net. And that's a pretty scary proposition because you've got to get your managers online. You've got to get your salespeople online because there's nothing worse than a manager or a salesperson driving to work, hearing that radio commercial in the morning and they're selling a Camry for $18,999 and then you're advertising at, $21,999. You ever had that happen? So now you've got to unwind. You've got to waste all your time unwinding your managers, because it creates this massive gossip fest, this negativity fest. So the things that we're going to go through this morning, we're going to share, we're going to talk a lot about culture and how you've got to change the culture of the dealership. So many times, we don't really change the culture. We get reactive to a moment and we try to fix it in a different way. And we're going to talk about that in reviews. So the situation was, Ryan wants to make money. And that's what we set forth. So moving into that. So the first thing, what's your brand? If you don't have a brand identity, well, I mean, you can read it right on the screen. You're wasting money and you're damaging your reputation. Because if you're focused strictly on price, you think about it. If you're on price, are you really a consultant? Are you an authority? No, you're not. And I had a dealer, this was a few weeks ago, and he said, Paul, you don't understand. And I was like, no, I do understand. The problem is you don't understand. He said, no. You don't understand that we're basically a franchise. And I'm selling Toyotas or I'm selling Fords, as is the other 10 dealers in the market. And I said, okay, I understand that, but guess what? We also have Nordstrom that's selling the same products that Macy sells and the same products that Dillard sells. However, Nordstrom is very profitable, but they're selling the same products. So you have to think about that, really kind of go through that process, and really it's got to be a cultural change on that. And if you're just on price, then you're no better than a Best Buy. You're no better than a Walmart. And if you want to be the Walmart of cars, well, then that's up to you. But with like Toyota Ad Covenant, Honda's Covenant, all this advertising, all these guidelines being put out that you can't try to position yourself better than anybody else. We fight with this with co-op. So a dealership that focuses on price, you can look at their financials and it's like boom, 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 boom. And they're focused on price, meaning that they're spraying and praying. And if you live by price, you die by price. And if anybody subscribed to Think Tank? So, okay, we'll make sure we get you subscribed to Think Tank where we talk about that.
And one thing to think about too, when you're just focused on price, who are you talking to? It's the people who are in the market to buy a car today. And yes, we want to talk to those people. And these strategies are going to speak to those people. But there's another 98% of the audience that is being exposed to your message, whether it be traditional, whether it be digital, that may not be in the market to buy a car today. But they have other reasons to interact with you. There are other opportunities for you to speak with them. But they at one point in time will be in the market. They will be that 2%, that 3% in the market. And if they're familiar with you because they've engaged with you somewhere else, and you're not just barking at them with a price, you're more likely to get their consideration further on. So Paul's going to share with you here in a moment a thought of how do I reach the consumer rather than just right here, ready to buy. Let's start engaging with them earlier on.
Yep. And talking what David just said, you think about that. So there's people that aren't really in the funnel yet, but are they not really in the funnel in this sense? You think about it. Somebody goes into work and they start, I'm looking for a car. I'm thinking I need to get a new car. Now, if you've spoken to that person, in other words, you've established yourself as an authority in your own market, You're going to have name awareness. So what you're really doing is you're creating all of these people in the market to be a brand advocate for your dealership. And they'll say, oh, I know Ryan Norris. Because Ryan Norris has become a celebrity in his market. And at first it was very uncomfortable for him. In fact, it's still a little uncomfortable for him. But it makes a huge difference. So now when people are in the workplace are saying, I need a car, they're like, oh, I've got a friend. Ryan Norris, Toyota Veasley. Granted, they probably don't know Ryan, but they've met him somewhere. They've seen him on TV. They've seen him on the website. They've seen him in social. Because, I mean, we basically, anywhere we can put Ryan, we put Ryan. And he's got that. And he's not one of those guys that's out going, Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. He doesn't talk about pricing. He doesn't talk about sales events. We pull him out of that completely. So what we're going to talk about today, build a strong, respected reputation, build a team. And that's the core. You've got to build a team that strengthens that reputation, and then you've got to continue to cultivate them. Let's look at this. Let's talk about a funnel and how the shopper goes through this. You want to kind of touch on this, what you see here?
Yeah, so in many cases, we all think about that purchase funnel. We think about the customers, you've got, and I'll speak from a Toyota perspective, you've got Toyota creating awareness of the brand, of the products. You've got the regional funds in the market, whether it be Honda, Toyota, Ford, whatever it might be. They're focused on kind of the offers. They're trying to push you down that funnel to buy the car. For your dealership, where do you think your advertising belongs in the funnel? Anybody have a thought?
So think about that, guys. The type of advertising and marketing you're doing right now, where do you fall into this funnel?
Are you talking to customers who are getting ready to buy the car down here?
Are you in the green section?
Or should you be talking to customers way up top? I see heads shaking, so I'm going to take that as a yes.
But who's doing that?
Who's doing that?
Who's doing that, really? You're doing that? And how are you doing it?
Well, we just started with some commercials that are our dealerships getting business since 18.
Oh! And please don't take that as offensive. But I don't care about your dealership being in business for 52 years. I don't. How's it benefit me as a consumer, as a shopper? Your shopper is very, very selfish. And each one of you are selfish, as I am. If I'm going to purchase from you, I'm going to be honest, I don't give a shit how long you've been in business. I don't give a shit. You've got a President's Award. I don't care. In fact, we survey the market, and we found out when we survey the market and we said, does our President's Award help you affect your buying decision? And the answers that we got back is like, no, it really tells me you're really good at screwing people that you were able to get a President's Award. That's what the consumer thinks. I mean, so think about that. And we have to shift our thinking in marketing. Our marketing is always we, me. That's not marketing. Who's buying from you?
So I think to put it in another nicer term, because I'm glad you're going down that route. Paul's from New York. He's upstate, so he's even more bitter because it's really cold.
Yes.
But what he's trying to say is that's a great point, but it's not a real point of differentiation. What's in it for the customer? Okay, you being in business since 1852, whatever it might be, what does that do for me? So if I'm sitting there on the couch and I'm trying to decide where do I want to buy my next car from, you being there forever, yeah, okay, there's a little bit of a benefit to you because you've made money for a very long time and you've been successful for a long time, so you probably do something right. But how does that help me right here? Okay? As a customer, I care about what happens in my wallet and not necessarily what happens in your wallet. Okay? So I want that benefit to benefit me more than whatever it might be. So a piece of, we've been doing business for this long, but as a customer, because of that, you're going to get this, this, and this. But we're not saying you're going to get the car for $18,600. We're saying we've got all these benefits to you, whether it's a warranty, whether it's some kind of a special tires for life, whatever you might want to do. That helps me. That makes car ownership for me a lot easier by buying it from you. But we're talking awareness. We're making that customer aware that we're in the market. So that customer, again, may not be in the market today. They might be in the market in 2 months. But they're now remembering you because of your awareness efforts. If you're only talking to the customer down here, I'm turning you off if I'm not in the market. Your message doesn't really resonate with me. And we know in advertising, in car advertising, there's a lot of messages all at once. Everyone's doing much of the same thing. But if you talk to them in a different tone, different message, you're going to get yourself a much stronger awareness in the marketplace, which is what we've done with Ryan.
So, and don't take offense to the things I say. I try to push the shock value because so many times the business owner says, I've worked hard to get here. I've worked really hard, and we think that that's a benefit to the car shopper. But you think about it. I mean, what happens awareness mode? I drive home after a hard day of work. I pull into my driveway, and then my neighbor's got a brand new car. And I'm like, really? He's got a new car. I need a new car too. You're driving down the road, you see a car, you like it. You see a movie, you like it. That puts you into the awareness mode, a TV commercial, whatever it might be that you're going, oh, okay, great. So now you have an interest. But what I want you to think about this funnel is, what is the mindset of the individual? The mindset is a very open mind. In other words, they're not jaded yet. They're saying, give me content, give me information, share information with me. So what I want you to do, write this down. Create a swipe file. And a swipe file, very simply, is start talking to your salespeople, start talking to your internet manager, start reading the emails that are coming in the lead, start listening to people that are asking you questions, and create a swipe file of all of those questions. What are people asking you and your staff not having to do with price? They're asking you things like, which one's going to have the best resale value? Which one's got the lowest cost of insurance? Which one's got the lowest cost of ownership? Which one's going to be good for a baby seat to go into the back? Which one's going to be good to be able to pull a boat? Which one's going to be good for, all of these questions?
Safest.
Yep. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So now you're creating this list, and now you can start to put a campaign together. So now that individual goes into the consideration mode, consideration being, I want a Toyota blank or I want a Honda blank. I'm considering which one do I want. So again, they're high energy here, opened up their minds that they're saying, give me data, give me data, give me data. The problem is though, your websites suck. I don't think anybody in here has a good website. You might think you do, but you don't. And that's the reason, what I'm saying, you do, because you have mine. But it still sucks. It still halfway sucks, because we're not there all the way yet. But you think about a dealer's website. Your website is focused on 3 elements to generate a lead. Anybody know what those 3 elements are? Get e-price. What else? So in other words, lowball me. What's the second element to generate a lead? Trade. What's my trade value? And what's the third? Get me pre-approved. Those are the 3 elements. Do those 3 elements, where do they fit into here? Intent, evaluation, conversion, where you get the lead, right? So my point is, you've got to develop content, and I know that sounds overwhelming, but you've got to develop content that speaks to that car shopper, of what they're doing in the research mode. We've all bought items. We've all done research online for items other than automotive, because we're in the business, right? Of course we have. What kind of things did you search for to find out? I mean, what were you looking for? What's the last time you bought a set of earbuds like at the Apple store for $39? And how many reviews did you read before you purchased a pair of earbuds for $40? A lot. Anybody done that before? Mm-hmm. Am I the only weirdo? Okay. But we don't have those type of reviews on our website. We have reviews about us as a dealer, but we don't have reviews about the products we sell. So we're forcing people to leave our website and go to other websites to do the research. So we're saying, hey, when you're ready to buy a car, come on over to our glorified virtual digital newspaper ad and look at our inventory and prices. And that's really all the websites are today. That's not the way to do it. So now they go down, they said, all right, I'm in the research mode. Toyota or Honda, which one? They go into validation. Validation is, let me ask my friends on social media. Let me ask my friends and neighbors. Let me ask people at work, do they validate my purchase? Are they going to say, yeah, that's cool? Or no, like, seriously, guy, you might as well be buying a Pontiac Aztek. So we want that validation that people are going to be okay with us. And then what happens is the shopper goes into a cooling off mode. They go, no, I can't afford it for whatever reason. I don't need it. I don't deserve it. So they cool off for a little while, and somebody can go through this cycle pretty quick. Then they go into justification mode. They're like, oh man, I deserve it. I work hard. I should be able to treat myself to a new car. Then they go into the intent. The strategy that we're talking about today allows you to start up here and follow all the way through. What the dealerships are doing now is they're starting their strategy right here. So then that's where we're talking about leads and conversion of a website at 1%, 2%, 3%, or if you're one of the gifted ones, 5 or 6%. But the strategy I'm telling you that up here that we're doing, we're getting a conversion of 17.9% now. Our goal for the year is 52% conversion. And some of you that are really techno are going, "You're crazy, you're smoking crack."
So how are you, what is your metric to track that from awareness to...
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
I'm going to show you that.
Some tactics to show you.
And a conversion in my world is a person's contact information so you can start working a deal.
Just go back to your 52% goal.
Yes.
Was that established?
In other words, we're not there yet. We're almost at 18% conversion. In other words, the number of leads we're generating off the websites. But we're working on to get to 52%. And when we show you some of the stuff that's coming up, to watch the person moving through the shopper cycle, in other words, the life cycle, and you see what's happening to those shoppers, it allows you to engage that shopper much higher in the funnel and start talking to them earlier. What we're going to show you, I don't think anybody's ever shared with you. So, I talked about this. Building a strong brand is not based on price, because that's not the way we start in the funnel when we're shopping for any product. Let me rephrase that. I'm using a general. There's going to be a third of the population that's like, I need a car, it's going to be $15,000. That's the way they're going to start. But there's going to be a bigger part of the population that needs to fill a need. So, you can see here, these are samples of ads. That's Ryan. I don't look anything like him. A little bit taller than him, but he has a very different accent than me. I'm from the Midwest. He doesn't have too much of an accent.
Yeah, he does. So essentially, you can see we're still talking retail. Okay, we're not giving up on retail. We're not saying Paul doesn't come into your store and say, retail's stupid, let's just be a branded store. So you can see Ryan's featured in every single one of the ads. He's got the presence. He's got the presence in the community. He's got the presence in the market. He's got the presence on their social media. He's big into Periscope. I wouldn't be surprised if he. No,
he's on Facebook Live. Yep. We're doing Facebook Live right now, guys.
So I'm sure we'd expect that with Paul. But I'm sure that people know who he is in the marketplace. But he's also involved in the community aspect, giving money to the local YMCA with every purchase. But yet we're still talking about selling 50 Camrys by the end of the month. But he's not screaming the price. He's not saying we're going to give these cars away. He's just setting a goal really for his team and for the market. Same thing up here. It's a much more aggressive, no payments until the 15th, and I think we have a couple samples after this. But again, it's all about still being urgent enough to talk to that customer today, but not necessarily throwing the price out there so that when that customer reaches out to you, they're starting the conversation here with price. In this type of conversation, they're starting more in the awareness. They want to learn about, let's talk about this Camry event. Let's talk about, the car, rather than say, where's that 15.9 Camry that you had on television?
Oh, that was our lost leader. We only got one of those. We already sold it.
Yeah.
Now you're having to unwind them.
Yep.
How's that helping the reputation? So we're going to go through some example of content. So, for example, one of our pages, this page here is a service FAQ page, and it has numerous pieces of content. Why is my check engine light on? How do I change my engine oil? What's a brake job cost? What's an extended warranty? All of these elements going through that. And so you think about it. If somebody's driving down the road and the check engine light comes on, what goes through their mind? And this is what marketing's all about, is psychology, understanding what's going through an individual's mind. My check engine light comes on, I go, oh no, maybe I should pull over to the side of the road. Am I going to tear something else up? There's over 1 million searches every 30 days having to do with check engine light in the United States. And there's 700,000 in Canada.
And guess who's doing a great job answering those questions? It's not us as dealers. It's Jiffy Lube. It's Tire Kingdom. It's all the third-party aftermarket oil change shops, because they have this on their websites. They have the content, not just service, but all the different type of content. We as dealers do a great job serving up that opportunity to Kelley Blue Book, to Auto Trader, to Cars.com. We let them be the authority on what we do best. These type of pages help your website show up on those million searches that are done every 30 days. Your videos that you're going to do all the touch points to make sure you're addressing this. So you need to start thinking to yourself, what do we do in the business? What do we do in our store? And is that represented on my website? Because I'm going to guess, for service, you probably got a great coupon for an oil change, and that's it, if even that. You don't just do coupons. You do the full service. You explain why you do that. So when someone says, why is my check engine light on? They go Google that, they come to you, learn why you should do it, and then there is a coupon there. So that coupon will then drive you to the dealership. That drives a lead of some sort. But it's because you got them when they were in what we like to call a moment of need. It's kind of that, oh shit moment. Oh my gosh, I need this now. You are now the authority.
So this page goes through and it gives them all the reasons the check engine light might be on, but then it's got the coupon, and if we need to drive more business in the service lane, the coupon goes to a free diagnostic check. If we need to slow it down, it's a 50% off diagnostic check. Gets them into the service lane, and you just think about the psychology of an individual of justification that we showed. You just need the justification. Oh no, my check engine light's on. I'm going to have to start spending money in this car. I don't want to do that. Maybe I should get a new car. So again, the psychology of an individual. Now they're on this page, and then we have find out what your vehicle's worth. All of these elements. I mean, find out what your vehicle's worth, get pre-approved for credit, schedule a service appointment. So anything that could be going through their mind that would fit them in that state of mind in that moment.
So again, more sales event messaging, more pages on the site. Again, featuring our boy Ryan. Videos. We know customers love to watch videos. If your websites are all text, the search engines thank you. The consumers don't really stay. Okay, the consumers don't want to read. When's the last time you read a full web page? Probably not lately, but you watched the video that was on the top of the page. So Ryan's introducing the video about the sales event, all the reasons to buy a certified vehicle, more reasons to buy a certified vehicle, and then actually listings of those certified. So it's a logical progression from why would you buy a certified car? You're creating the awareness of the certified program all the way down the funnel to, if you're in the market today, here are the options that we have on certified pre-owned.
I got some bad news for you guys too. You ready? You can't swipe a check and make this all happen. And so what I mean by that, you see the video here with Ryan? If you're going down the path and you're talking to companies that do automated video, you're wasting your time and you're wasting your money. We've tested it all. Me as a consumer, I'm not going to engage with a video as just some automated video. And if I've got any people selling video in the audience, I'm sorry, but I just don't believe in it because we've tested it and tested it and tested it and tried to make it work because it'd make our life easier. But when we do the video, like with Ryan explaining what it is, because he is the spokesperson, he is the voice, I mean, it just makes a huge difference. So video is important. So more?
Yeah, more, again, we hate to call it down and dirty because we all want to do retail. We all want to go back to that drug and get those immediate sales that we need. This store still has a sales objective. They still have a goal for sales and for profitability. So these tactics allow you to do that. So you've created a reputation, you've created a brand, and we're going to continue to talk about that. But yet, it's not all just, it's not giving away the car. It's giving an opportunity to tie it into a sales event. Both cases, the right-hand side's an email, a video email. If anyone's on this guy's email list, which I'm sure some of you are in the room, you get video emails. Again, consumers want video. Here's an opportunity to send emails that have video in it, introducing the sale, getting people in the funnel, and then getting them to your site.
How often is he doing videos? Like every week, every day?
Well, we're going to get into that more, but we do videos. We're probably averaging right now with emails, probably about 7 to 15 emails an hour right now is what we're doing.
As an agency, not as...
No. As for Toyota of Easley, we're probably doing 7 to 15 emails an hour is what we're doing to our database. Everybody think that's crazy, right? Yeah. You'll see. Watch what happens here. This sounds crazy, okay? But what you guys are thinking is you're thinking, that's stupid.
As a customer, I would receive 7 to 15 emails an hour.
No, you wouldn't. Not as a customer. But so let me get into it a little farther, and you're going to see what's happened. Mass emails through the month, we're probably doing and when I say mass, we break the database into very small components. So it might be 500 here, 1,000 here, 2,000 here, 3,000 here. We're probably doing about 20 emails a month is what we're doing. So, you won't, though. And when I show you, you'll go, ooh, this is crazy. Because it's not saying that you as an individual would give 20 emails. I'm not saying that. I would say I'd put you in a bucket, and then I would start to nurture you. So as we get into that. So here's a thank you page.
Yeah, I think it's key again. Customer does submit a lead on a car. What does your website do? In most cases it says, thanks for submitting the lead, goodbye. Because really, in your mind, is the transaction done? I mean, if they bought the car, they're getting leads. Most likely they're getting prices from 3 or 4 different stores. So in this case, this helps you one more touch point extending the brand for the dealership. So Ryan's got his brand. They've got the Easily Advantage. It has all the tangible benefits to the customer in the Easily brand, in the Easily Advantage. And he's just there reminding the customers, thanks for submitting the lead. You're going to hear from us, and here are all the reasons that you should buy from us.
So now we're getting into the point where you guys can understand where you think I'm just an absolute nut job with the emails and the number of emails. So let me explain what happens. So now we talked about the sales events without a price, but now let's talk about individual communication, and that's what we're doing through email marketing. It's automation is what it is. So our websites are developed with a whole lot of content. This is one piece of content. Think about that funnel I showed you. 7 secret tips to increase the value of your vehicle. Get the checklist now, step by step. Did you know you can save money, save time, no hassle. The process is simple. Here, get this book, this guide that we're going to show you how to increase the value of your vehicle. So if you were shopping for a vehicle, if you step out of the dealer's eyes, if you were shopping for a vehicle and you went to a dealership's website, would you react to this? Would you fill this in? Would you take this step? Who would take this step? Put your hands up. So there's a number of us who would take this step. Think about it, anything that you're purchasing outside of a car too. If they were giving you helpful guides, resource of information. So someone hits this page, again, this is part of our goal to get 52% conversion. Right now we're right at 18%. So now what they hit is they had said, get the checklist. Now we take them over here. Now we're going to capture their email, their first name, and let them give their phone number if they want. Opt in, so we're CAM supplying. Get the checklist now. So when they hit get checklist now, we automatically email them this PDF guide of checklist. Here's all the things that you can do to improve the value of your vehicle. But also, too, did you know if you are going to replace this vehicle that you could save on the tax dollars by trading that? Am I making sense? You trade it in, you save on tax dollars. If you're selling this vehicle outright, please give us the opportunity to buy this vehicle from you because we buy vehicles out of market, and oftentimes we can give you more for your vehicle than what an individual will, and we can have a check ready for you in 24 hours. And then what happens, the dealer gets notified, the internet department, sales manager, whoever the process is. So then Michael, that's our internet director, gets that email saying that Paul filled this in. Michael calls and he goes, hi Paul, Michael at Toyota of Easily, I'm just calling to confirm that you received our guide. I wanted to make sure it didn't get into your spam. Oh yeah, Michael, hey, I appreciate that. Okay, great. If I can help you in any way, let me know. And quick question, are you interested in selling that vehicle outright? Because I'd be more than interested in talking to you about buying it. So you guys know the word tracks here. So that's what happens, is that email went to, let's say, Paul in this case. So me as an individual, I got the one email, the PDF guide. 24 hours later, I get another email from Michael, and Michael says, hi Paul, again, thanks for downloading that guide. If there's anything else I can help you with, let me know. I appreciate you checking out our website. By the way, here's another guide that could help you. Leasing versus buying, what's the best opportunity? And then if that's the behavior, that's 24 hours. 3 days later, they get another email, helpful guide. Hey, are you still looking to sell your car? Here's some tips, here's some ideas, here's some strategies to be able to sell your car outright. 5 days, 7 days, 10 days, 15 days, 30 days, 45 days, and 60 days.
So you can see a trend. You're not a salesperson at this point. You're a consultant. You're helping the customer make the right decision. In this case, they raise their hand for a guide because they're looking to sell a car. Automatically, as salespeople, we think if they're going to sell, they need to replace it, drive home with something. Maybe they really do just want to get rid of an extra car in the driveway, insurance reasons, whatever it may be, need some extra cash. You would buy that car. I mean, instead of going to the auction, that's something you put on your lot. So after they've then filled out that form and they've hit send, like I mentioned with the video earlier, what's the next step? So instead of getting a thank you for filling out the form page, you're going to get a page saying get the lowest interest rates possible. So go back to your website, fill out a form, and see what it tells you to do next. As consultants in the business, as salespeople, but really consultants, we need to guide that customer. We need to help them get that next level. So then now you're talking about, here's how you get your lowest interest rates. Click here to have the banks compete for you. Takes you to a page sharing all the different rates and how you may qualify for that. Should I lease or buy my next vehicle? Customers ask that. Not only do they ask that in their heads, they go to Google and they type that exact phrase in. You can run a report and see how many times that's been looked at. Customers are asking those questions to your salespeople. Put those questions on your website, and Paul mentioned the word earlier, but become the authority. Become the person who's looking for that, rather than just becoming the person who's looking just to sell to that person at the end of the funnel.
Some crazy searches that we see, and we have pages built for. We have over 178 pages built now. But one of the searches is, what's wrong with my car? That's a search. And then another search is, what kind of car should I buy? What type of car should I buy? They're asking the search engines those questions. And what's really cool, there's absolutely no dealers outside of our dealer network that's going after that traffic. So the person's very open-minded. You bring them in, take them through a little survey, and then answer the question. So here you go, guys. You want to see some of the steps here. I know you do. So go ahead and email this email on the bottom, and we're going to send you the guide that we've got that's will be done here in the first week of February. So email yes, Y-E-S, at ppadv.com, and we're going to give you this guide that walks you through all of this in detail, because we only got an hour here. So again, yes at ppadv. So let's look at Angela. So to answer the question specifically, where you asked me about how many emails we're sending, well, here's Angela. Angela came to the website. She came to the website via Bing search. I know, nobody then thinks Bing works. So she came to the website via Bing, and we're tracking all of her behavior, what she's doing. Here's when she visited the website. This was 5 weeks ago. Again. I'm going to take you through this step here. These are people that are on the website in real time. All the recently active people coming to the website is what's happening. So they're all showing us a digital body language of what they're interested in. It might be pre-owned, it might be credit, it might be leasing, it might be any number of things based on the content. So here she is. This is a life of a lead for Angela. She came on the December 9th. She, again, came in through Bing. She went pre-owned. She sorted by price into page 1, went to price page 2, and then drilled down on a Toyota Sienna. She did this at 7:46 a.m. in the morning before she was going to work, apparently. So now she leaves the website. She's not on the website very long. And then she comes back 5 days later on December 14th at 11:21 a.m. right before lunch. She doesn't spend too much time. She looks pre-owned, and then she sorts by price, and then something happened. She got off the website. Maybe the boss walked in, or people said, hey, it's time to go to lunch. Then she came back again on December 18th, 4 days later at 12:22 p.m. Again, homepage, she started searching by pre-owned. She went by payment, pre-owned, SUV, Forerunner. So now we know more about her. What's her focus? Apparently it's by payment, it's by price, and she's looking for an SUV. She came back again 4 days later at December 22nd at 11:23 a.m. So again, right before the lunch hour. And she did all of these sorts. She was on the website for 10 minutes. But here's the real kicker. We don't know who she is yet. I mean, you'd have seen it was Angela, but we didn't know that at this point. But you can see right here at this point, the little clipboard, she came on a piece of content that she found helpful. And that was the content. 7 steps to easily increase your trade-in value. That's not the page I showed you. It's a completely different page. So 7 secret tips to increase the value of your increase the value of your vehicle. And then we've got 7 steps to easily increase your trade-in value. So she's telling us she's wanting to trade in, not necessarily sell the vehicle outright. She fills in the form. So when she filled in that form with her information, we retroed back all of her browser behavior. And not only that, if you go to a website and you have Facebook, if you're logged into Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, any of the social media sites, well, we know who you are, and we've captured all that information. So we've retroed all that information. We said, hey, that person that was doing all that searching is Angela. So now her lead score automatically shot up to 200. The dealer got notified, hey, this lady named Angela is on your website. This is what she looked at. This is what she did. Pick up the phone and call her. And so Michael calls her and says, hi, Angela. I see that you filled in for the guide. I just wanted to make sure you got it. Is it all coming together, guys? Is this a whole different strategy? So you can kind of see what we're doing is we're answering questions based on the behavior. Any questions on this? So as you've seen Angela going through that process to answer your email question, again, how many emails are we sending? I'm giving you an estimate of how many emails we're sending because, again, it's based. Did somebody look at pre-owned? Did they go to credit? Did they go to all this? So our program, what it does is it starts firing emails based on that digital body language to that one individual, but we're constantly tweaking it and testing it to make sure that you don't opt out, that you stay there. We don't abuse it because now we're being a resource. We're giving you information. So again, that email, make sure you email yes@ppadv.com because we do a video series every week, 144,000 subscribers. It's called Think Tank Tuesday, and this is the type of strategies we share for free. So again, does this funnel make a whole lot more sense? Do you see what I'm talking about when I started out? And I didn't mean to offend anybody about the years in business or anything like that. But does this make more sense to you now? Or is your head hurt? Geofencing.
Yes, this is a neat little tactic that you could do when you get back to the dealership. And you think about the major companies that are in your geography. You know, all of you are in metros, you know, whether it may be a little bit more rural or not, but you know there's major companies around. You can geofence with certain websites, Paul's being one of them, where if that customer comes in and their IP address indicates that they're in a certain geography, the first slide's going to be, do you work for one of these companies? And if yes, then these special offers for you, do you qualify? Well, they've got to fill this in to find out, and of course they qualify. You know, you're not going to say, no, I'm sorry, your company's not on my list, where you can go to the next door. Yeah, they qualify. Customer thinks they're getting a special offer because, wow, I work for Cascades. That's my company. I didn't realize I had an employee purchase program. It's just an extra offer you guys have in place. They're not giving the price. They're not giving it away. They're just building value and the reason to submit a lead here. So, again, one of those 171 different ways to submit a lead on the website.
So let's talk about building a team. We're almost out of time, too, so we're going to have to roll.
We'll do it real quick. I think, you know, one thing that I always see is stores from the top think they've got a great culture. They think they've got a great brand. The dealer sitting in his office goes home at night thinking everything is great because this is what I think people think of us. And this is what I think my people are representing. You know, some of the biggest corporations, one being right up the street, Disney, they don't let the people at the top stay sitting in their offices. If you go to Disney training, the management training, the one thing you learn is that every manager has to step down a level, if not more, to be with the employees and see how they're interacting with customers. Because if you think that person who's cleaning the bathrooms is carrying your brand the way you think it is sitting in your office, then that could be a negative experience for that customer, and your brand really doesn't mean anything. And they can, you know, they're going to go tell all their friends about the terrible experience they had. They didn't have a terrible experience with the sales consultant. They had it with a porter. They had it with somebody else, but that's your brand. That's your experience. So I'm going to encourage all of you to look at, and if you're not the manager, talk to your managers about getting a full exposure of what the culture is of the dealership. Look from all the way to the ground up. Spend time at all levels of the organization, but also look at the people at every single level you're hiring. Okay, if you're setting goals of just sheer volume and you're all about just price, 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 that's the certain kind of person you're going to attract. But in Ryan's case, Ryan doesn't want that. He wants good, positive experiences. So Ryan empowers his employees. They know they've got expectations. He sets their goals. He knows they've still got to sell cars. But he gets a lot of applications from people who weren't salespeople before. Because that's what he goes after. That's what he wants. He doesn't want someone that can only think sell, sell, sell. He's thinking, and Paul used the word nurture, nurture, nurture. How can I create a relationship, get this person what they're looking for, so they make the decision to buy from me for the right reasons, rather than just because I was able to not let them out the door and pushed them into my car and pushed them over the curb. So it's the right people, and then it's inspecting the culture all the way through. Because if you think your brand is what you think it is, most of the time you're wrong. And you really, as a dealer, don't define your brand. The customers define your brand. Bad experiences, customers are now saying this place isn't a great place to work. You see it on online reviews, but they're telling their friends more so than they're going online, pushing it to the review site. So make sure you have the right people, but also make sure that they have the right goals, that you empower them to have the ability to nurture as much as just sell, sell, sell. And they sell. They're a great store. They perform very well, objective-wise, profitability, all the metrics that are important. They do it. It's just a completely different experience.
Ryan's salespeople are a combination between an attorney, a teacher, an accountant. He changed the entire hours. There's no more bell-to-bell hours, and the pay plans have been changed too. And it's worked extremely well. So he doesn't have the old car dogs. He still has some of those, but most of them are coming from a different walk of life, a different perspective in the sense, and they have normal work hours. And it's definitely an interesting culture. So I'm going to kind of go in there. But this is what Ryan focuses. He sets the expectations, he sets the boundaries, and he holds everybody accountable on that. He's not the type of sales manager that I grew up with. Wanted to show this. So how many of you guys try to get your team using social media? Is it a pain point for you?
Yes.
Yeah, not for Ryan. So he tells them, he turns it around, and instead of saying, I need you to do this, or I'm going to spiff you, he's really pushed it in him. We've gone in, spoke to the salespeople, and talked about how it would help them sell more cars, provide for their families, send their children to college, and all that. So let's see if I can get this to play. So anyway, they shoot basketballs, easy enough, but they constantly have social promotions going on. This is a Facebook video is what this is. And I
was at the store probably not long after that was shot, and the owner, Ryan's dad, Tommy, 75 years old, there he is right here. He's out there with a lot of these customers. He hears the basketballs. He gets up out of his office and goes out and engages with them, challenges them. In some cases, it'll be like, you hit the shot, you get an extra $500 off your car. We'll give you another 10% in your trade, whatever it is. If the customer hits one, Tommy will double it down. He's like, come on, guy, if you hit another one in a row. But customers are also taping this stuff, and the salespeople are taping it. People enjoy going there to buy a car because it's different. It's fun. This doesn't happen in a store where these other salespeople are being shoved into a phone bank to go make phone calls. These guys are out there cheering on the customer because they want that customer to get another $500. They're having fun. It happens because of the culture in the dealership.
I mean, when's the last time you've seen a dealer principal out there doing this and using video and all that? I mean, and that's what Ryan's doing. So it's from the top down of doing that. And he's on Periscope. He does Periscope videos. We're getting him on Facebook Live. Here's a point I want to point out to you guys, that it absolutely amazes me in the industry that we get short-minded in what we do. We've been hearing it for years. Oh, take pictures, and post it on Facebook. But here's the problem. We take a picture as a salesperson, we post it on Facebook. We didn't do what our ultimate goal was, and that was to network with our customer and connect with them on Facebook. And you can see Jay connected with Mandy, posted the picture, tagged her. That's my point. They don't tag. And then Mandy's putting all the hearts. It was 24 likes, 1 comment, then somebody else ended up sharing it, and it goes over here. She's given a testimonial talking about Jay, the experience, and then it goes down here. 77 other people liked it. It grew 18 comments with 80 likes. So that's what social media is about, but we seem to forget about that. We take a picture and go, oh, here we go. Bought a car. So you're talking to your own people instead of talking to people that bought the car. What time is it, guys?
We're out. We're wrapped up.
Okay, so I got to go quick. Chasing reviews. I'm not a believer in chasing reviews. I'm just not. Same thing. If you want to make money, don't focus on the money. Focus on what you actually do for the clients. Focus on your clients and how you make the experience better for the clients. The money will follow, and so will the reviews. If you start to try to bribe people and beg people to do reviews, it's not going to be authentic, and it's not going to be organic. So I'm going to stop with that. I mean, let me pop through there. There you go, download the guide.
That's it.
But let's talk about Ryan's success. He did. Gross has gone up, even though there's people in the market selling triple net. Gross has gone up. He's got more market awareness because we're constantly surveying the market. His talent, his salespeople are excellent. I mean, gross has gone up, retention's gone up, everything's gone up, and his advertising cost has gone down. So what I'm going to do is, any questions, guys? Because I need a good question because I don't want to carry these mugs back to New York. I think the e-price of having the e-price on there, everybody else does it, so it's like a comfortable zone. It's fine to have that e-price, but you want to have other content in addition to. Wait, before you go, wait. Here's a cup since I insulted your 52 years.
She was afraid to ask another question, Paul. She was hoping to get the heck out.
Thank you. So, no, they don't, but they've been brainwashed to know what that is, and all the other dealers do it. So, I mean, you don't have to make a major shift. You can keep that in there, but you want to have additional content of all the different questions that people have asked you.
And why not brand it with your brand? Why not call it Ryan's Price?
Well, actually, we have a website that has pictures of our numbers there.
Yeah.
Yes. And we've seen that that's got a really good conversion, too.
Yeah.
By doing that, but you want to get more content on the website, definitely. Okay, guys, I know we kind of ran out of time there, but I appreciate you coming in, and if you definitely get the guide, and then you'll be in. Don't worry, you won't get 7 emails an hour, but you'll get an email every week. Thank you, guys.